Welcome to the Social Bee podcast with your host, Louise Brogan. Every week, Louise will be bringing you a podcast all about women entrepreneurs, talking about their challenges, their goals, and inspiring you to either start your own business or grow the business you have. Visit www.socialbni.com to join our community and pick up some lovely freebies to start marketing your business online today.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Social Bee podcast. So I promised you that I'm going to get more people on to interview in the podcast because I know a lot of you really like that. And to be quite honest, so do I. So today I'm having on Sara Moseley, who is another podcaster, yay, to talk to us a little bit about her business and really just to find out what she is all about. So Sara, welcome to the Social Bee podcast.
Louise, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm super excited to be here.
Yes. Now, tell us a little bit about what it is that you do and who you do it for.
Sure. My business is pretty simple. On the surface, I'm an online business coach, but I specialize in helping people create scalable online products so that they can take their offline business online. Why would you want to do that? Well, we have this amazing thing called the internet, and I am super passionate about helping people, reach more of the people they want to be helping. And obviously, they'll be in a position where they can be making more money. And often people need to stabilize their income before they even think about scaling as well. So that's what I do.
I love that. So before we dig into that, what did you do before?
Well, there's two parts to this, Louise. I hope you're ready for this.
Oh, I am. A cup of tea.
What did I do before that? Well, when you get to 48, it's a big question because you've got to condense it all. I can't give you the full history. But I guess, my career, I went to university and did business studies and marketing. And I always knew I wanted to have my own business. But like most people at 20, 21, we don't really know what we want to be doing. So I felt the urge to at least get those skills because then I thought I was leaving my options open. And then I fell into magazine publishing and I loved that. I had an amazing career. I published titles in London, and then I ended up going to Dubai and launched some titles there. So becoming a magazine, I started selling advertising space, which was the best education anybody in business can ever have. And then I worked my way up and I was publisher of the magazine. So it was like having your own business within a bigger business.
Oh, Sara, let's pause there because why do you think selling advertising is such a good grinder? Tell me why.
Great question. I tell you what happened. My marketing tutor, right? I was very business and marketing is all very cool. It was very cool at the time. And, I had real sort of, I'm going to be an entrepreneur and do this. And when my marketing tutor suggested we'd finish the finals, I was leaving university, he asked me what I was going to do. And I'd been applying for sort of, this is back in the day when you had a degree, you could apply for sort of, management training programs and things like that.
Yeah.
And he said to me, you know what, the best thing you could do right now in these years straight after your degree is to go and sell something like magazine advertising space or TV space. And at the time I was like, what? I'm a marketeer, darling. I'm not going into sales. I honestly, I really was. I thought, oh my gosh, how could he suggest something so awful? I've got to be honest. But something stuck with me. And he said, if you can learn how to sell and sell or, properly, like understand what people's needs are and match your product to it, then you can market. You'll be able to be the best marketeer and you'll be able to have, do whatever kind of business you would want. Yeah. So that stuck with me. I'll be honest, that stuck with me. And I actually, very lucky, I got offered a Marks and Spencer's training program, marketing training program. Thousands of people went for this and I got offered it. But I also at the same time got offered a graduate program to sell advertising space on, in a London publishing house. And I took it because I thought, I just couldn't ignore that advice.
Yeah.
And I've used it so much. The whole premise of selling for me it's an icky thing at all. It is about providing, helping somebody find the information so that they can find the right products that are going to help them in however they want.
Yeah. That's
so yeah, that was crucial to me.
One of my in-between jobs was, I did Tesco Club Card call centre for 6 months. But that wasn't really selling, that was customer service. But I came back to Northern Ireland and I was waiting for, maybe it was in the summer holidays in my degree, I can't remember now. And I did sales in one of the big call centres, the Apollo call centre in Belfast. Yeah. And I sold Fax Minder.
Oh. Which
we all know so well, don't we?
I just had a flashback to actually using faxes.
And it was like, you suddenly get a message on your house phone, not your mobile, but your house phone. You have to dial like 1471 or something.
Yeah,
I remember it's like we just don't do that anymore, do we? But then faxes. So when your fax came through, if your fax was busy, Fax Minder minded the fax until the fax machine was free or something. I can't even remember now.
Yeah.
But I was really good at it and I was quite shocked. And I used to be the top seller in my team every single day, to the point where the rest of the team were kind of going, because you got prizes for being top seller. And people used to get really, I think, a bit annoyed because I was always top seller. So that's really interesting. So that was kind of like sales on the telephone. Is that the similar?
Yeah, because I think, okay, here's the thing. I think when you learn skills like that, you learn how to make connections with people really quickly. And you also learn to listen to people as well. And I think, because I was good at it as well. And I just think that those are the key things. When you listen to what people are telling you they need, then obviously if your product is appropriate, I'm not suggesting that, and you would have had the same thing. You have to make sure that you are, talking to people where this is actually going to be an appropriate product. And then the fun in it was actually pulling out the bits that they wanted to hear. If they've got a problem, they want to know how it's going to solve their problem. Yeah. So I think they're really key skills for anybody in business.
Yeah, that was great advice you got then. So what happened after the publishing house advertising role?
Well, I got to the stage where I'd launched a title in Dubai. It was very exciting. It was F1 Racing magazine. And it was all very glamorous. And I just thought, I don't want to do this anymore. So how many magazines can I actually publish? I don't. It's sort of like the same process. And whilst I'd loved it, I knew I needed to move on. And my husband, very famously in our family, said, why don't you do something with your photography? You've always said, you want to have your own business. And so that was that. I resigned. And I'll add this in because this might be interesting as well. We were trying for a baby as well. We've been trying for about a year. And being a publisher and launching, is quite stressful. You're working with teams and so on. Yeah. And it hadn't been happening for us. So I handed in my notice saying, I'm going to start my own business, time for me to move on. And within a month, I was pregnant.
Oh my God.
So there I am now. I've left my lovely corporate job. I'm starting a new business and I'm pregnant.
And there goes the maternity pay.
Bye-bye maternity leave. Hello, reality of starting your own business. So I started it over in Dubai and then we came back to the UK. We had a couple of children and I started properly, if you like, the photography business here. And I did that for, 13 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I loved it. So there were some years where, it's very much around the children. That was my number one priority was that, they came first.
Yeah.
And when they're little, it's great because they don't know if it's a Saturday or a Tuesday and you can work, fit in your editing and so on. Yeah. So it worked really well. But as the children got older and I had a beautiful studio in, it doesn't matter where it was, but I had a beautiful studio and it became a tie. And I was spending more time with other people's families and not enough with mine at the weekend. So little sentences like, Jack, I'm so sorry I'm not coming to watch you play football today. Oh. But, and what ended up happening was the business was doing really well. my energy levels were high, but I burnt out. And with hindsight, when I say burnt out, I was literally in bed, couldn't move, pins and needles,
oh my gosh,
excruciating migraines. It was a proper sort of, my body said, no.
Wow.
No. Yeah. Now, what's interesting about this is for a couple of years, I came across the fabulous Carrie Green and the Female Entrepreneur Association.
Oh, yes.
And I was looking in on what she was doing, thinking, man, I want to do that. I want to do something, online. And I just found it really exciting. And I guess with my techie background with editing and photography and so on, it didn't seem too scary.
Yeah.
So I'd actually mapped out something. I was going to have a membership for photographers. I was going to show them how to, mums in particular, how to start photography businesses. But what I didn't do, Louise, and this is, I'm so grateful and regretful at the same time, is I always was too busy to actually create the content that I needed to create in order to get the product out. I didn't give it enough priority. And so when things went not so well, you've got a photography business, I had staff I had to pay, I was hemorrhaging money while I was off. Mm-hmm. If I'd only got that level of online income coming in, semi-passive income. I don't believe in total passive income.
No, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. So I call it, it would have been semi-passive at that time. It could have been a very different story. But at the same time, I'm so grateful that happened, because guess what? Now I decided to close the business, take some time off. Mm-hmm. I didn't close the business. I closed the studio. I carried on doing lifestyle photography for a little bit, but I really toned it down and focused on getting my life back, really. And, I was also at that age where I was reassessing. I was thinking, I've built this business. I love this business. What am I going to do now? Because it was part of my identity. I think when you have your own business, it's so much a part of you, isn't it?
Oh, I can't imagine if I, it's funny because I'm in my mid-40s and you think, Louise, you're going to work on this forever? But I can't, not doing it at the same time. But I don't really think people are going to want me turning up doing LinkedIn training when I'm in, I don't know, maybe they are when I'm... Please do that, I don't know.
Well, but this is the thing, Louise, I was having this time in my life where I was thinking, I started to reassess everything, because I thought I was in my, I think I was 44 at this time, 44, 45. And I was thinking, do you know what? It's okay to not to want the same things that I set out in my 30s to do.
Oh my goodness, absolutely.
Yeah, and actually it's okay to evolve and change, because I didn't really feel that I'd be starting from scratch, because by that point I had 25 years in business.
Yes.
So I had plenty of skills that I could do something with.
Yeah, absolutely. So did the membership for photographers not take off?
No, because I never put it out there.
That's a brilliant business to me.
Well, it's still there, Louise. This is the thing. It's there. But I got to the stage where I had to sell all my kit. I wanted to sell my kit because people kept saying to me, and I'm blessed, I loved it. But people kept saying, I know you're not doing it now, but would you just photograph me for this or that? And I thought, I have to leave this. I have to end that period in my life, in order to move on. Now, obviously, I'm a photographer at heart, so I still do it for myself, but it's very different, isn't it, to doing it as a business. Mm-hmm. So once I cut those strings, then I was free to start exploring really what I wanted to do. And I had some savings. I had an amazing husband who, bless him, I guess he's seen the successes that I've had in my life previously. So he was like, take a little bit of time out, and do what you want to do. Yeah. And that's the worst kind of motivation.
Well, having time off.
Then you have to do something, right? So gradually, over the last couple of years, particularly the last year, I've really focused in on this particular area. And I'm super passionate about people taking this opportunity that we are so very blessed to have nowadays.
No, I know. It's interesting because